What's it called when a substance goes directly from solid to gas?
What?
Premature evaporation.
Hello, welcome to Hat Trick. I'm Jordan Deller-Coltman. I'm joined by my brother Braden Deller-Coltman and our very good friend Elliot Tanti. The three of us, every single week, try to do something interesting, something unique, and something entertaining. That's what we're going to try to do again this week. It is Father's Day. It's a Father's Day edition of our little sports show. Boys, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Happy Father's Day, although neither of you yet have had the pleasure of bringing life into this world. But happy Father's Day all the same. You both have fathers, so we'll start there. How you doing, Braden?
Good, thank you.
Elliot?
Yeah, that seemed like a sort of backhanded way of getting us to wish you a happy Father's Day. So happy Father's Day, Jordan.
Oh,
clearly that's what you wanted.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, guys. It was nice of you to think of it. We have a good show for you today, and why waste any time? Let's get right to it. Here's topic one. Okay, topic one this week is a little bit of a sticky topic. We're going to deal with something that none of us are experts in, but all of us, I think, are mildly amused by. Major League Baseball, once again, has found itself in a sticky situation. Over the past couple of years, we've constantly had these news stories come up where people are like, oh, this is the new steroid. This is the new crisis for Major League Baseball. A couple of years ago, it was the Houston Astros banging garbage cans and strapping electrodes to their nipples while they were hitting home runs to, signal check, or what is it? Call signs and things. Yeah. And
I'm not sure about the last thing you just mentioned there, but...
Do you have any evidence that didn't happen?
Well,
no, so it could have happened. All right.
Evidence of nipple stimulation during
who knows?
Yeah, once that comes out, there will be lots of players suspended.
All right. Major League Baseball is cracking down now on sticky substances. Yeah, sticky substances. Basically, what they're looking at is there has been a apparent uptick in the number of cases of pitchers using foreign substances to affect ball trajectory. So whether it's sticky substances or slick substances, something that is changing the ability for the pitcher to grip the ball or to put spin on the ball that is not natural to their hands. It is not perspiration, and it is not the resin that we've seen in those resin bags for years and years and
years. Which is legal.
These are additional things that players have been using. Now, apparently, this is a very long problem that has existed in Major League Baseball pretty much for the last 100 years in different forms. And there are two rules technically already on the books that are to limit this. Rules 3.01, which is about damaging or discoloring the ball, right? So pitchers can't change the color of the ball. That's more about the safety of the batter. No, they don't want you to rub it in the dirt so that the ball's darker. They need the player to be able to see the ball coming at them safely. That's that one. And then the second one that is about this is 6.02, subsection C and D, about otherwise altering or applying any foreign substance to the ball. So you're allowed to sweat on the ball, I assume. Either way, Major League Baseball, once again, in the news for something other than baseball. And obviously a lot of pitchers have been complaining and pushing back against this because they feel like it's going to affect them. I guess what they're suggesting is if I can't cheat, I can't win. But either way, Major League Baseball cracking down on it. It's a weird story. I know this is a news story for you, Elliot. We sent you some article about it earlier. What are your initial thoughts when you heard that this was happening? And is this just another case of Major League Baseball, and what the hell's gone wrong with America's favorite pastime?
Well, I'll answer the second question first and say, yeah, this is another example of this is what is it? It's the symptom, not the cause, right. Or the symptom, not the like that. There's some significant issues in baseball that have been arisen in the last little bit, and I think the integrity of the game has been put into question, and I really think this all kind of relates back to how poorly MLB dealt with steroids way back in the day. You mentioned it off the bat, and their inability to sort of, you get that? All right, off the bat. I thought I'd foul that one off. But in all seriousness, like there's some serious issues around integrity for MLB. With regards to the sticky substance, I mean, I think it's one of those things. You either go all in and people can do whatever they want, or you do a full, enforcement piece. The problem with this is that this is like the MLB. Everyone knows this is going on. No one wants to address it. Then someone starts talking about it, and then it becomes an issue, and then MLB addresses it in a really shitty way. It's like this is the cycle for MLB. I'm not even surprised at this point that it's at this place. Ultimately, you know what I think? I think the players should decide. If the players think that sticky substances should be allowed, then they should be allowed to use them. Heck, let's invent some that are MLB branded and push them through the college rounds and do make it into like an actual thing. Or you have to say no, not at all. Players don't want this and move on. But this in between stuff just doesn't work anymore. The code has fallen apart for MLB.
Yeah, the thing that's funny to me is, so the first thing is the suspension or the ban based on, discovering the sticky substance is, I think, a 10-game suspension. So for these pitchers who are pitching one game out of five, like, it's a 2-game suspension. It means nothing to them at the end of the day.
It isn't starts.
Well, it starts.
So it would be punishment for 10 starts.
Well, I don't know if it starts. I don't know if it's. Okay. I think it's games.
Okay.
But it could be. I'd have to look further into that. If it is, then I guess that that's a bit more severe. When it comes to the actual like I agree with you, Elliot. I think with something like this, that it doesn't seem like there's all that much discussion between the players and the league as to what is actually fair, or what is, this is something that they've been doing for hundreds of years. They've been using sticky substance. I don't know what else to call it. Like I guess the main one that they've been using is called Spider Tack or something like that. And
that's the brand, yeah.
The brand, sure. But players have been playing, like they've been using, it's not unknown to the league. They've been using this for years. So for them to all of a sudden go, oh, let's crack down on this. It seems kind of, it's like, okay, well, we dealt with that last one. What's the next one that we can kind of cut down on and figure out how to make our game pure? But the fact is, like, the game has been quote unquote pure for the last how many years? I mean,
has it?
Not really.
I mean, that's the kind of the point with it with baseball, is it feels to me like another example of Major League Baseball reacting to a problem rather than trying to prevent it. Sure. Like Elliot was saying, right? This is the symptom, not the cause. The thing is, Major League Baseball for a very long time has kind of just accepted that, well, as long as everyone equally gets an opportunity to cheat, is it really cheating?
Right.
You know what I mean? With all these different situations, it's like sign calling, or what is that the right word? Yeah. Like where a player standing at second base can see between the legs of the back catcher, and if they have memorized or studied the other team well enough, they may be able to identify the difference between a fastball call and a curveball, and have some form of way to signal the batter. Right now, that has existed in baseball forever. That's right, part it's of the taught game. In minor league and in little league and all of that. Yeah. But the truth is, it's technically against the rules. Okay. The difference with the Astros situation was that they were using some form of technology, external technology, just as another team was caught using smartwatches a few years ago to be signaling those things. And that's where then it became controversial, because it was like, this is an advantage some other teams haven't yet figured out. Therefore, this is giving one team a different advantage than everyone else who might be doing it the old fashioned way. You know what I mean? With the sticky substance, like you said, it's like, every pitcher has had an opportunity to rub a little bit of this on the inside of their ball cap or on the side of their neck pitches, or whatever else.
They all have different arm strength. They all have different locations.
So the question becomes, why now? Why all of a sudden are we reacting to this? And, much like we talked last week about the French Open and the way in which they kind of made the whole Naomi Osaka thing worse for themselves by kind of their ham-handed handling of it, I think this is another situation where Major League Baseball is just continually shooting themselves in the foot with how clumsy they are with dealing with these situations. They get caught with their pants down. Oh my God, we haven't dealt with this for so long. The problem is so systemic that we now have to come in, with a much more aggressive response to it, that now we just kind of look like idiots, as opposed to, dealing with it one instance at a time for 10 years, which they just can't, you can't go back, obviously. But it definitely, I think Major League Baseball comes out of it looking worse for
we're also seeing pitchers, claiming that their injuries are being caused based on the fact that they're taking this substance off of the balls, and so they have to either change the way they grip the ball, change the way they throw the ball, change all of their dynamics.
I'm only as good as the syrup on my fingies,
or the sunscreen and resin combination, which is legal. It's
no, totally. One quick question for the two of you, because I'm sort of interested in your take. How much of this do you think is around this is emerging because of the issues around the length of the games and frankly how dominant the pitchers are and the lack of scoring in the league?
I don't think that it relates to the length of a game, and I think that I've been watching the Blue Jays, and their pitching just sucks. So it looks like they haven't been using any of the sticky substances.
Get these guys some syrup.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I think that that's a separate issue. I think that the length of the game is a completely separate issue that has to do with,
I guess it was more so the scores in games, the lack of hitting, the dominance that pitchers have right now.
You know what I think it comes down to? Gambling. I think there is a much a higher level of scrutiny on all of these major leagues now in the United States, because all of these leagues want to create partnerships with gambling operations, and they want to increase the opportunities for gambling within their sports because they are starting to recognize the value that it adds to them economically. Right. And I think that increasing certain parts of the integrity of these sports is critical to the strengthening of those relationships. Obviously, baseball has a very tenuous history with gambling. I mean, we still have the greatest hitter, arguably of all time, banished from the league because of he was a chronic gambler. So baseball has its own problems to unpack there, but I do think that that's part of it. I think we're going to continue to have these questions about integrity, and baseball, when the margin is so thin, because it's really a one-on-one head-to-head matchup for the majority of the game, pitcher, batter, and the slightest additional edge to one or the other is a problem or is an advantage. So
I think that's an excellent point.
I'm not sure I'm pro sticky substance or any other foreign substance to change the trajectory or the spin rate of the ball, but some guys won't be able to throw curveballs. Some guys won't be able to throw sliders.
So then should they be in the Major League Baseball?
That's a good question. Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah, it's a good question.
Does at the same question is Odell Beckham Jr. pulling in one-handed overhead grabs in the end zone without sticky tack on his gloves, because that's in the NFL too, right? Like the technology that exists in all sports has increased and then become more advanced over time. The skates Connor McDavid is skating on are 1,000 times better than what Wayne Gretzky or what Paul Coffey or any other considered fast player at one point was skating on, because the technology is just advanced. Does it mean that he has an advantage over the other players he's competing against? No, they're all skating on the same technology today. Mm-hmm. Is that the case in baseball?
Yeah, I feel like this kind of a thing, they introduced this ban like a week ago, or no, it takes place this week. Yeah, is the when they'll start to crack down. I feel like this is not the time that you want to. I feel like a change like that needs to be addressed in the off season so that the players can be, practicing with that in mind, going into training camp and then into the season with that, so that you're not seeing player. You don't give you don't let the player then say, oh, well, this, my injury is now a result of the fact that you made this rule come into place. And,
Braden just wanted to say sticky.
Jordan didn't think this would be a good topic.
I didn't, but it's very good. No, you're right.
I mean,
I thought it was just a conversation about pine tar, and then I had to look into it.
Well, and that's funny because that's allowed.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see it. It remains to be seen how it sort of plays out after the ban is in place and what the league sort of looks like post lack of sticky substance. But we'll see what happens. We'll leave it there. That's topic one.
Spring in full bloom, it's gardening season. For 18 years, Zocalo has been providing Edmonton with plants, gifts, and flowers. This local flower boutique is located right in the heart of Edmonton's Little Italy. With a wide array of flowers, plants, and gift options, they provide delivery and curbside pickup. Check out Zocalo online at zocalo.ca or call them at 780-428-0754.
Okay, here's topic two. This is one of our favorite games, or at least it's one of my favorite games because I don't actually have to play. I just sort of host it and we see how these two boys handle it. I have collected 6 very interesting sound bites from the last couple weeks. They are all completely different. None of them are the same.
I should hope so.
That would That is the very definition of that. Yeah.
Okay, so there are 3 for each of you. The way the game is played is I will play you a sound clip. You will do your best to guess who said, who is speaking in the sound clip, if you can identify it. Sometimes there's more than one voice, but just what's the context of the sound clip and who said it. That's the idea.
Who said what?
That's right. That's the name of the game. Who said what? Okay, we will go with Elliot first. Are you ready, Elliot?
Sure. I hate this game.
I can't tell.
All right, here we go, Elliot. This one is actually from tonight. Here we go.
Doc, you think Ben Simmons can still be a point guard for a championship team like the one you guys want to become?
Yeah, David, I don't know that question or the answer to that right now. So I don't know the answer to that.
You gonna leave me with a basketball one?
Yeah, we're gonna start off with basketball. We know how you watch every game on the field. On the pitch. What do you got for me? Do you want to take a stab at that?
Where there's lots of checking.
To be fair, Elliot, I did actually give you a clip where the person's name was said.
And he said it was on tonight.
So what do you got?
I don't know.
All right.
Ben Simmons talking about himself.
No. Very, very good guess.
I don't know the answer to that.
Ben Simmons plays for the...
I don't know. Team coached by Steve Nash.
No, the other one. Philadelphia 76ers coached by Doc Rivers. That was Doc Rivers. The Philadelphia 76ers losing tonight to the Atlanta Hawks. One of the birds that plays in Atlanta. The Atlanta Hawks and Trey Young. Trey Young beats the Knicks, and now he and the...
Yeah, Knicks.
Yeah, he beats the Knicks, and then he beat the 76ers. So he's gone through 2 of the most sort of tormented fan bases and left them both feeling pretty shitty.
Yep.
But
the Bucks.
But another big team in the 76ers, who obviously with Joel Embiid and with Ben Simmons, and just one of those teams that for year after year has found themselves coming up short in the playoffs, and it's starting to get frustrated. And as Braden mentioned following the game, this is probably as far as they go. They have to start to now figure out what's next, and we're going to probably see some major changes. But that was Doc Rivers, 76ers. They're out of the playoffs. You're 0 for 1, Elliot, but a noble attempt. All right, this one's a little bit older.
Okay.
It's from about a week ago, but
okay. I was around.
Here we go.
I know you're a gamer and all this, and I'm just thinking maybe out loud as far as in your shoes right now. It's like, all right, we've done all the thinking we can do, we've done all the game planning we can do. Maybe just we'll just go in next year and just not think anymore and just win this thing when we don't think so much. Am I on the right path at all with this? Like maybe you just guys think a little too much.
I can see it, but I can't picture who. Okay, hold on.
So to be fair, you're not going to know who asked the question.
Right, of course.
Because it's one of these Zoom interviews. I'm going to tell you after who asked the question, but who was being asked the question and who responded with the singular no.
I think I know this one.
This was a hockey game. Oh, I know who he asked. He asked Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, and the only reason I thought that because Nathan McKinnon had the exact same tone after saying, we have not won shit. And rather, I have not won shit. After he's been in the league for how many years?
9.
It's hard. It's hard. I feel for the guy, but it's true. He has not won shit.
So I'll give you the context here.
What a dumb question.
It is one of the most rambling, nonsensical questions.
He's like, can you just answer yes?
Here's the best part.
I say?
The question was asked by Colorado beat reporter Adrian Dater, who is considered an infamous Colorado reporter that has now bounced around through 6 different Colorado-based publications after several scandals involving direct messages sent to female fans on social media. Somehow he continues to get employed. But
he said he starts by going, "I'm a gamer."
He asked that ridiculous question, and obviously Nathan McKinnon, after almost a minute and a half long question, and responds with no, and moved on. Great sound clip there. That one will be an infamous Colorado Avalanche sound clip. You're 1 for 1, Braden. Well done. All right, Elliot, time to pick it up. And I'm sorry, I will admit to you, yours are much harder than Braden's this week.
Yeah, I don't know why, but all right.
You ready? Here we go.
Listen to me when I say it's going to be a two-stopper.
listen to me when I say this is going to be a two-stopper.
Any guess?
Sebastian Vettel at the last event, clearly upset because he didn't want to have to make a second stop in the pit.
You have the context right. Pretty close. The driver's wrong, although you've gotten one of the very key letters correct. Yes, that was from today's race in France. The driver, however, was Valtteri Bottas. You got the V, Valtteri.
Well, and Vettel, not Vertel.
Yeah, not what the pronunciation wasn't perfect, but you knew who we were talking about.
I'm only halfway through the first season of that F1 show on Netflix.
Oh,
so give me a break.
You'll catch up. Obviously, I have to put that one in because there's as a little plug for the fact that we do have the Pit Stop podcast on this feed every week.
Absolutely.
Elliot isn't actually on that show, but we thought I'd ask him just to see if he's been paying attention.
We've been asked a lot for having guests on that show.
Yeah, a lot of people want to come on that show.
We'll do a poll.
Yeah, and then we'll just do what we want to do anyway.
That was an F1 pun.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. All right. Sorry, Elliot, you're 0 for 2. I don't think you're winning this week.
Not going to end up on the podium.
Not going to end up on the podium. You ready, Braden?
I'm ready.
All right, this is Braden's second one.
Big Ashford was a step on the line. I was just seeing a little screenshot how close I was to ending their season off that shot.
What do you got?
Oh man, a little screenshot onto the next season. Okay, we're talking basketball, I think. I'm like looking right. A little screenshot onto the next season. Somebody who just lost. Well, I want to say it's a player. It wasn't Kevin Durant, but it might have been. It didn't sound like him, but he did lose yesterday off of a 3-point shot that had his foot on the line. So I guess let's go with Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets, who lost. He's bound for the U.S. Olympics or the U.S. Olympic team. Poor Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant and his large feet, size like 17 feet. Have you ever seen a photo, Elliot, of Kevin Durant without a shoe on? It's horrifying.
Yes,
he looks like a duck. I mean, we shouldn't body shame anyone, but it is truly something. Like it is horrifying. Yeah. He has very long feet. Mm-hmm. Google it. If you haven't seen Kevin Durant's feet, Google them. It's insane. Now, to be fair, he's like 7 feet tall, so they kind of are somewhat proportionate, but when you only see the feet and not the person, you're like, wow.
They'll zoom in on
that is a very, very long foot.
Okay, so when I go Kevin Durant in Google, how far down do you think Durant feet?
You got to put the filters on. You got to do lower half of the body in the filters or something like that.
No, shoe size is like the second one.
Oh, it is. But yeah. Can you get them without the shoes on?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Pretty quickly here.
I feel like Kevin Durant would be one of those guys that doesn't really take care of his feet.
Well, I think he would. I mean,
you do?
Basketball's kind of a foot-centric sport. It's pretty important to have good feet.
One would think. He just seems like the guy that might not.
All right.
Well, seems like his priorities are elsewhere.
All right. Let's get back on the right foot. I'm doing like a Ron McClain impersonation tonight.
More Gene Principe, I'd say.
Oh, even worse. God. Elliot's got Gene's hair, though. Okay, here we go. This is for Elliot Tanti, and I apologize in advance. There is not a single chance in hell you're getting this.
Thrilled.
We just really wanted to play the sound clip. So take your best swing at it. All right, here we go.
Walk into a stadium, 8,000 people, they all want you to lose. But as long as you got your 26 guys ready to kick butt, you're going to be all right. Sorry, I sweared. I shouldn't have sweared.
No, you're good, man. Let's go back to that last inning, 9th inning. What are the emotions like entering that inning?
Well, emotions are go in, win. I heard a fan offer free Dippin' Dots if I blew it, which the price of Dippin' Dots with inflation is just unreal. So for a brief moment, I was like, damn, Dippin' Dots sound good. But also I thought...
All right.
Dippin' Dots with inflation.
See if you can unpack that
I don't know. So let's say that guy. That's obviously too informal to be major league. And it's definitely in the States where they're close. You can have that one-on-one conversation. So I'm gonna say double A ball, dipping a Dippin' Dots is let me see. I just looked them up. They're located in the South. So I'm gonna say a AA team from Florida. Really passionate, and you know what? People that speak like that sometimes it's pitchers, but I'm gonna say catcher because catchers can be weird. So catcher, AA ball.
Elliot,
Florida.
that was a
It's a
really
very,
good
very
guess.
good guess. You've done some good forensic. You got close. You're definitely on the right coast.
And sport.
And sport, obviously. It is a pitcher. He came in relief, so you got that one wrong, but a very close attempt on that. And you were closer. You knew he wasn't Major League. He's actually still in college. This is an NCAA senior closing pitcher for Virginia. So you were very close.
Okay, all right.
You had the right. You, at least you were in the right part of the country. You knew it was in the South.
Look, I took what you gave me and I did what I can. Okay,
You did very well.
That's a
His
win.
name is Stephen. How are we saying the last name?
Scooch.
Scooch. I want to call him Scooch so bad. SCHOCH.
Skoke.
Skoke.
I don't
Skok. Anyway, Stephen there with one of the most enjoyable post-game interviews I'm sure that reporter has ever had.
So amusing.
You know what, Elliot? I'm giving you the point there because you got almost all the way home. At least it was a good double.
So I just put free Dippin' Dots into Google search, and it was the first thing that came up.
Nice.
Hey, listen to the rest of that interview.
Yeah, he goes on for
keeps
another
going.
like 3 minutes. We'll put it on our Instagram. All right, we're running way over time, so let's just get to Braden's last one here. Braden, you have a chance to go for 3 for 3.
All right.
And I know that would be something that you would really, consider a crowning achievement in your life. So here we go.
For me personally, how I deal with it was that I know every single person asking me a question can't play as well as I can and never will. So no matter what you say or what you write, you'll never light a candle to me. So that's how I deal with it. But each person deals with it differently.
I don't know exactly what the context there is. From my knowledge, my guess there is that is Serena Williams. Okay, who is that? Because it's
Venus Williams.
It's Venus. I was like, man, that sure sounds like Serena. I'm so sorry.
Context?
So somebody asked her some dumbass question.
Yeah. So what were we talking about last week?
Ridiculous questions being asked.
Naomi Osaka.
That's right.
And her whole saga with the French. So Venus was asked during her press conference,
the same thing.
Have you ever had anxiety or fear of the media? And she responded basically like, no, I'm not afraid of you fuckers because none of you can hold a candle to me. I love it. I think it's just such a she
shouldn't have
it's brilliant. She should not have to be answering that question. You're absolutely right. But a great soundbite by her and just zero fucks given.
Goodness.
Well, boys, that was very good. 2 for you, 1 for you, Elliot. And I'll have to go back in the archives and we'll create like a career statistics flow chart that we can keep track of over the years. But in the meantime, Braden edging you just slightly. That was another edition of Who Said What? That's topic 2. Are you feeling hungry? Busy Bee Vegan is a plant-based meal prep service offering pre-made, delicious, and healthy plant-based meals to the greater Toronto area. Whether you're curious about plant-based vegan eating, looking to improve your overall health and wellness, or simply too busy to cook, Busy Bee is for you. Their plans are focused on eating clean without sacrificing taste and contributing to a healthy planet. They have made it super simple. Choose and order your meals from the multiple plans they offer, and they will deliver your meals in environmentally friendly compostable containers right to your door. You can find them on Instagram at Busy Bee Vegan Meals or on Facebook at Busy Bee Vegan. Go check out a small local business in Toronto and save the hassle of COVID grocery shopping and cooking. Let the Busy Bees feed you buzz-worthy meals. Okay. Our last topic this week, special because it is Father's Day, or it was Father's Day yesterday. This will come out Monday, obviously, but it's Father's Day weekend, and all 3 of us obviously have great fathers. 2 of us share one. You can figure out which that is. We'll do what we did, I think, on Mother's Day and take our hats off to our fathers, or to fathers in general. Maybe I'll go first. My father, Greg Dowler Coltman, great guy.
Great guy.
No, one of the most patient and intelligent men I've ever known in my life. I'm constantly grateful every single day to have been born his son, and the opportunity to have learned how to be a man from him, how to be a husband from him, and now for myself, how to be a father from him. And he was an amazing teacher, not only obviously to his own 3 sons, but to hundreds and probably thousands of other kids as a teacher. He's retired now and enjoying that, but he's gone on to coaching, and he continues to try to mentor and encourage other people because it's truly what his calling is. So my hat goes off to our father, Greg Dowler Coleman. Elliot?
That was nice. Nice tribute to your dad. Similarly, I want to give my hats off to my dad, Victor, who is one of the most passionate, brilliant characters that I know. I similarly have learned a lot from him, but mostly the ability to have compassion for people and to be thoughtful in how you approach people. And I think, one of the greatest gifts my father gave me was to watch him interact with his friends and be there for his friends. And he's often, that's something that he's quite good at and that he feels quite passionate about, is being there for people. And when there are times of need and being supportive. And I feel very lucky and grateful to have gotten to have a life watching him do that and emulated it in as many ways as I can. So hats off to my dad. And I will give a small and a quick shout out to my grandfather, 90 years young this year, who is the father of 5 and the grandfather of like 14 and the great grandfather of now like 6. So, just an outstanding patriarch in our family as well too. So shout out to Pastor Don Olson as well.
Right on. That was really nice. I'm going to be tipping my hat off to another father, somebody who taught me a lot and who really helped me fall in love with sports, and that is my brother Jordan, who is a new dad. He is a great new dad with a little guy who's going to fall in love with sports as well. You're great. So hats off to you, Jordo.
Thanks,
buddy. Thank you very much. Thanks, both of you. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And we'll be back next week with another great show. That was Hatrick. Hatrick is a member of the Ordinary Podcasting Network. It's produced every week by Jordan Dowler Coleman and Braden Dowler Coleman. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thanks for listening. Am I still a new father?
I think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of a stretch.
He's only 2.
Yeah.
Just wait till he's like 40, then you'll be an old father.
Oh, okay. That's how long I have to wait?
Probably.